You, your mom, your friends, and even your dog all like the casino. And I would too, if I was the owner. You walk into a dark room, bright, colorful lights pulling your attention towards the tables and machines. Well-dressed workers offer you help or a drink as you drift towards whatever catches your eye. No windows, no clocks. You start off with a positive mindset. It's all luck, and today might be your lucky day. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's a whole lot of crap. Nothing's free, and I'll explain why. Using simple math and probability theory straight from my university textbooks, including simulating players betting at the casino using Python and Matplotlib to visually show the data. Let's start with roulette. I call it the coin that isn't fair, you'll see why in a second. It's simple to understand. For European roulette, a ball spins around the wheel with 37 pockets, numbers 1 through 36, colored red or black, and 1 green 0. You can pick red or black, and if the ball lands on your color, you double your money. Sounds like a coin flip, right? Or a 50-50. Well, that's what they want you to think. There are 18 red pockets and 18 black pockets, out of 37 in total. You still have to take into account the 0, which is what skews your chances. So the probability of winning when you bet on red is 18 over 37, which rounded gives you around 48.65%. That's not 50. And that 2.7% gap is what's called the house edge, or the mathematical advantage that casinos have. For every spin, on average, you lose around 0.027. That's 2.7 cents lost per euro bet. Let's show this using Python. I simulated players, each starting with 100 euros and betting 1 euro on red for each spin. This code will all be available on my GitHub if you'd like to have a proper look at it or run it yourself. When we run the code and look at the last graph, there are some people that get lucky and ride a winning streak, others unfortunately suffer. But on average, it leans to the left. Most people end up losing. Looking at the graph above, after 5,000 spins, it slowly comes closer and closer to the 48.65% we calculated earlier. And above that, the slow descent of a player's balance after hundreds of spins. The casino doesn't need every player to lose, it just takes advantage of the math, and over thousands of spins from many people, it always does end up winning. And that's just the European wheel. I haven't even mentioned the American one. They decided to add a second green pocket, so now there is a 0 and a 0-0. This lowers the chances even more, making it 18 over 38, which is around 47.37%. The house edge nearly doubles to 5.26%. It's the same game, same bets, but you're losing twice as fast, which is what my graphs on the right show. It's rigged just enough to not feel it spin by spin. Enough about that, moving on to the gambler's fallacy. You might have heard of this one or even experienced it. Imagine you're standing at the roulette table and watches the last 7 spins land on red. Your friend comes over and convinces you that black has to be due next. I mean, the chances of rolling red 7 times in a row is 0.5 to the power of 7. That's around 0.78% chance. Imagine the chances of it landing on red an 8th time. Almost impossible, right? Well, next time that happens, if it ever does, tell your friend to watch this video, because there is still the exact same chance of it landing on red the next spin, and the one after that. The previous spins are completely irrelevant, the wheel does not keep track of its history. I simulated 100,000 spins, and every time I found a streak of 1 red or 2 reds all the way up to 6 reds in a row, I recorded what came next. If the gambler's fallacy were true, the line should slope downwards. It doesn't. The conditional probability equals to the unconditional probability. Knowing what happens before tells you absolutely nothing about what happens next. The second graph shows how often streaks of each length occur across 50,000 spins. Long streaks can happen. Alright, so now you know the house has an edge, and predicting the next color based on the previous ones is absolutely pointless. You might think that this is the one. The Martingale Strategy. The rules are simple. You start by betting 1 euro on reds. If you win, great. If you lose, you double the bet. Lose again, double again. In other words, keep doubling until you win. Doing this, you'll always recover the previous losses if you eventually win. When you win, your profit will always be the amount you started off with. In our case, 1 euro. Of course, if you want to make a decent profit, you have to start off with higher values. So why isn't everyone doing this? The most obvious one being your wallet. If you start off with 10 euros and lose
6
times, you'd have to pay
630
to go onto the
7
spin. That's a lot of money just to make 10 euros profit by the end of it. Another reason being table limits. Maximum bets fall around the 500 to 1000 euro mark for regular tables, meaning your Martingale strategy wouldn't last long. Anyways, here's my simulation. The first graph shows one player starting with 500 euros over 200 spins. Early on everything looks like it's going well, but with a 10 euro bet and only 500 euros to spend, a losing streak is just 6 bad spins away. The second graph shows 500 players over 300 spins this time. The line shows what percentage of players still have money left at each point to gamble. By the time it crosses the red dashed line, more than half of all 500 players have been eliminated. The last graph shows the amount of money you're spending per spin you lose. 5 spins being just below the grey dashed 500 euro limit line. This is called the gambler's ruin, math which proves that any player with a limited amount of money playing a game with a negative expected value will eventually lose everything. 99% of gamblers quit before their next big win. You've likely heard this one before, maybe you've even said it to your friend who's lost 5 times in a row. Let's say there's a game where you have a 1 in 50 chance of hitting a big win. That's a 2% chance per spin. Not great odds, but people play games like these all the time. Now imagine you've just sat through 30 losses in a row. The big win has to be soon, right? Wrong, this is just the gambler's fallacy from chapter 2. The wheel, the machine, the cards, none of them know you've been losing. Your 31st spin still has the same 2% chance as your first one. I simulated 10,000 players, some were fresh, starting from 0 losses, others had already been on a 30 spin losing streak. I recorded how many additional spins each group needed to finally hit. The second graph tracks players already 30 losses in and players 50 losses in. Then I questioned if each group quit after a certain number of additional spins, what percentage would walk away without ever winning. All 3 lines follow nearly the exact same curve. There's no statistical advantage when being on a long losing streak. I think you're starting to get the gist of it, and to never go to the casino again, unless you want to start one yourself. What? That's not possible? Well, I guess the next best thing you can do is check out my Gumroad, link in the description to support me, or check out the code which is available on my GitHub. Thanks for watching, see ya!